Hello there. Some technical issues right at the last minute. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sticking around. I'm going to close my door. So welcome again to Creative Play for Nature Journalers. I'm all discombobulated because of tech issues right at the end. I'm going to breathe. We're going to do some play together. So today I thought we would talk about negative space. And negative space is something quite fun to think about because it flips our thinking. Instead of thinking about the shape, we're thinking about the space around the shape. So I'm going to share my screen and show you what I mean. Now, let's see. Share screen. Okay, so here we go. This is an image you might have already seen. This is something called Rubens vase. And if you look at the white part, the shape, you see a vase. And if you look at the negative space, the black part, you'll see something different. And you might see two faces looking at each other. So this is a really cool example of negative space. So if we're thinking about something that we might see as nature journalists out in the wild, out in the field, you might see something like this. You might see a leaf that has holes and space around it. And if we think about negative space, we can imagine that this object, this leaf, is in a box, and that helps us visualize the negative space. So I'm going to not do that. I'm going to not having much luck today. So what I'm going to do is minimize this and show you my screen so that I can do some, so that we can do some play, so that we can do some sketching together. So if we, I'm using here a graphite aquarelle. So it's graphite, but it's also wettable, which is pretty cool. So take this shape and see if we can draw it without drawing it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start with a square. I'm going to start with the bounding box just because that helps us visualize the negative space. Okay, there's a wonky bounding box, but because it's creative play, it does not matter at all. So I'm going to take my pencil, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw what I can see. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor. So I'm here up in the top right-hand corner is a shape made of white. And I'm only going to draw the white shape, nothing else. And so I'm going to start here, and I'm going to move around this object, and I'm trying in my mind to not think of it like an object. Just look at what is beside it and behind it. So you can see here there's a shape, and I can even color it in with this aquarelle pencil. And the reason why this is cool is because if we have anxiety about making, being able to draw something, we don't even have to draw it. We can draw the space beside it, behind it. Okay, that doesn't look like anything right now, but watch what happens. So I'm going to draw with my cursor this little space down in the bottom right-hand side. Okay, let's go. Again, in the spirit of creative play for nature journalists, I'm not worrying about perfection. I'm just drawing the space in this corner, the shape of the white in this corner. Okay, I can even draw this little space, and I can color it in. And this practice is something really playful, something really easy. You can do it with kids. You can do it with kids who are anxious about drawing. And you can also use it to calm your inner child who's nervous about this sort of thing. Up. Okay, is it looking leaf-like? No, not yet. Okay, so I'm going to draw this section here at the top left. Okay, let's go. I hope you're drawing with me. In here. This shape is a cool shape when you're looking just at the white, not even looking at the leaf. And I can color that in. These pencils are really cool. They feel just like a graphite pencil, but they're actually wettable, and I'll show you that in a minute. I can make it into some nice watercolor effect. Okay, it's getting more leafy. Now the bottom left. I have always been awful with my left and right, and I'll tell you a story. When I was 7 years old, and I was still learning my left and right, and the instructor would call out, turn left, turn right, turn left, and I didn't know where I was going. And so my mum wrote an L and an R on my hands, but my mum, sorry mum, she's worse than me at left and right, and she wrote them on the wrong hands. So for the longest time, I was so confused about left and right. Anyway, now I am doing the inner. So this is negative space. I'm not drawing a leaf right now. I'm drawing the space. But a leaf is emerging. And I think it looks pretty groovy. So I'm just adding these little holes. I've lost track of all my holes. Here we go. Okay, kind of leafy. Here. And without drawing the leaf at all, a leaf has emerged. And so this is how we play with negative space. I can draw in this leaf vein. Now I'm actually drawing the leaf, but that's right at the end. So just for fun, I want to show you what this little pencil can do. This is, as I said, Faber-Castell Graphite Aquarelle Pencil. And just for fun, I'm going to activate it with this water, just to show you what it can do. So it sort of turns into watercolor. Shouldn't have used this this square brush for this project. That's okay. It's hard to get into round places with a square brush. What have I got over here? A rounder brush. So that is negative space. I'm going to show you one more way to use negative space really quickly, because if you've been following along with me for Creative Play for Nature Journalists, you'll know that I want to keep these little videos short because we're all busy. Everyone's so busy. So There's a leaf without drawing a leaf. Okay, now I've got some actual leaves here, and I want to show you another way to use negative space. So without drawing this leaf, I'm going to, so what I've got here is a little puddle of Jane's Grey, which is my favorite grey, which is a mixture of ultramarine and burnt sienna. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to splash this paint over this leaf really loosely. And by doing this, I should have warned you because you're not going to have your own leaf to paint along with me. But you'll get the idea. This is a really fun activity to do with kids. A lot of these creative play things are great for kids, but also just for us when we want to remember what it was like. Oh, remember what it was like to be a kid. I found myself starting to, so I'm middle-aged now. I found myself starting to say things like, back in the day, back when I was younger, back in the good old days. No, I've not actually ever said back in the good old days, but you know, it's the same sentiment. This is actually a really complicated leaf to do this with, but you can see that I have this leaf effect here without having painted the leaf itself, just painting the shape around it. I've got a leaf effect. I'm going to do that one more time with this more simple leaf. This is a nice, easy one. And this can make a really nice effect in your nature journal. Very quickly capture something about the plant that you're looking at. This one's moving a lot, of course. Up. I'm still learning the ins and outs of StreamYard, this application that I'm using to film these videos. And I haven't worked out how exactly I can be demonstrating and looking at the chat at the same time. So let me show you what I've done. So here we've used an aquarelle pencil to just draw the outside of this leaf. We haven't done any, I haven't drawn the leaf at all. I've just drawn the outside of it and a leaf emerged. And here I'm using the negative space to give a leaf impression. So again, I haven't done any painting of a leaf. I've just drawn what's around the leaf and a leaf has emerged. So let me stop sharing this screen. So hopefully that gives you a little tool to add to your toolbox, something to play with, something to have fun with. And I appreciate you being here, and I look forward to spending time with you next time.